What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Mid-Level Media, and I'm here today for a different type of video, okay? It's not too often that I do like theater vlog style videos where I go watch a movie, I come out and I talk about it, but that's what we're doing today. I'm at the movie theater. I'm not at Walmart's. I'm not at Goodwill. I'm not at some like DVD, Blu-ray thrifting location. I'm at a movie theater. I'm going to see Terrifier 3 on the big screen. Then I'm going to come back out and I'm going to talk about it. Different type of video today. You know, it's kind of an out and about video, but it's me going to the movie theater. I used to do this kind of stuff back in the day, guys. I remember reviewing Dr. Sleep, like a very early video on the channel where I went to the movie theater. I came out and I gave you my thoughts on the movie. I don't do that too often anymore. Main reason is because my wife and I have a channel called Married with Media, and we go to the movie theater, see movies together, watch movies on streaming, and then we review them together. She has no interest in seeing Terrifier 3. She saw the second one. She said, I'm good. I don't need to see any more Art the Clown. So I'm here by myself, and I'm like, you know what? Since we're not going to talk about it and review it, let me just talk about it on my channel and see how people enjoy it and like it. Because Terrifier 3 right now, guys, it's pretty hot. It was #1 at the box office, and I love horror. I talk about horror all the time on the channel, so you guys know I like that kind of stuff. I will say this, okay? With Terrifier, like I watched the first one back in like 2017. I enjoyed it. I liked the movie. It had obviously has one of the best like horror set piece moments where he freaking saws the girl in half. Sorry for spoiling it, but that's like the big moment of the movie everybody talks about. I enjoyed it. I didn't really think about it too much after that. And then I heard about Terrifier 2 coming out. Came out, got all kinds of hype. I watched it. I remember when it came to Blu-ray. And I thought it was okay, but like to be honest, I thought it was too long, and I just didn't really understand like what they were doing with the supernatural elements. So I didn't love that movie, but something made me rewatch both of them over the weekend. I was just kind of drawn to it. I guess it was the hype of Terrifier 3. And I'm like, I really want to like this. Like, I want to be a part of this hype train because I love the idea of like a new horror icon, a new horror franchise that's just going like super hard. That's kind of like taking the spotlight right now. I've been wanting like a new horror franchise outside of like Halloween or Friday the 13th or you know, Nightmare on Elm Street for the longest time. A slasher franchise that just delivers. And I feel like Terrifier is on the rise. So I want to be a part of that, but for some reason, like I didn't love the first two. I rewatched them both over the weekend, and I actually really, really like both those movies. And like watching them back to back, like just enhanced the overall experience, I think. Really liked Terrifier 2 a lot. Just kind of got into the lore and the world building and everything they were doing. Building up Sienna and Art the Clown and just good versus evil. I got into all those themes. So I don't know if they're going to carry that on in the third one. I assume that they are. But I'm excited to see where they go from there. And the fact that there's going to be a fourth one is exciting. I like franchises, you know, that keep on going, especially in horror. Like, I think it's super cool. So right now, guys, it's 4:08. I've got 7 minutes to showtime. I'm sure I'm looking forward to about 25 minutes of previews. It's a 2-hour film. So I'm going to go in here and watch it, come back out, give my thoughts on it. And yeah, I just hope it's good. I hope I have a good time. I'm excited. Let's go see Terrifier 3. Let's do it. All right, here we are at the Cinemark. Maybe there'll be some cool popcorn buckets or something. Walking into the theater. I'm ready to be terrified. Let's go. All right, guys, so I just got out of the theater. I did it. I survived Terrifier 3. And yeah, I'm going to give you some quick thoughts. First thoughts that I have about this movie is it was far like funnier than I thought it was going to be. Like I had heard that this movie like really brings back the dark edge of Art the Clown from the first one. And outside the first 10 minutes of the movie, which I thought were spectacular, I didn't really see that in this movie. Like Art the Clown is funny. Like there's several moments of comedy throughout. Like just, I feel like David Howard Thornton has really come into his own as this character. Like, and kind of in the same way that Robert Englund kind of came into his own as Freddy Krueger as the movies went on. And there are just moments of like just like great comedic, like physical comedy from David Howard Thornton in this role as Art the Clown. And I thought several moments I like bursted out laughing. I was just laughing out loud at some of the stuff that he was doing. But as much as I enjoyed that, and I do like a good horror comedy, I feel like that came to a disservice to like the scare factor of the movie, the tension building of the film that I feel like was present more so in the first one and the second one than was in this one. I never really felt, outside the first 10 minutes, which, like I said, the opening to this movie is freaking awesome. Like, it's spectacular. Like, if the entire movie was like that, I don't know if I could have handled it, because it was so freaking tense, that first 10 minutes. But after that, it kind of settles into a groove. There is some tension. There is some scares. There's definitely a lot of gore. There's a lot of gore. There's a lot of great kills. There's a lot of elaborate set piece kills and moments, which I feel like this franchise is kind of going to become known for at this point, which are fantastic. The shower scene absolutely delivered. Like, I knew about the shower scene, but like, it delivered in the moment for sure. There's some other great kills as well, like all throughout. I love the bar scene as well. Thought that was really good. So there are some scares and there's some tension here and there throughout the film, but it doesn't feel as mean and nasty and gritty as the first two movies did to me. So if I were ranking the franchise just like based on like my personal enjoyments of the movies and just what they deliver for me and what I expect out of these movies at this point, this would probably be my least favorite of the three. Having just watched the other two over the weekend, it would probably be my least favorite, but also I think it might be the best like made film, like the best like cinematography, just visually. I think it looks fantastic, and the movie had a much bigger budget than the other two movies, so that makes sense. The performances were really good. Like the girl that plays Sienna, which I cannot remember her name. I think it's like Laura Levine or something. She was okay in the second one. I didn't think she was that great. I thought she felt like a very like low budget, straight to DVD actress in the second one. She had her moments here and there, but in this one, like, she is really good. Like, she really upped her game as an actress. I like how the movie deals with the PTSD of everything. Her and her brother Jonathan, they're both great. Both great in this movie, and how they tackle like PTSD and how they're dealing with life after art from the second one. Like, it's rare that we get those type of deep dives into somebody's psychosis, their psychology, after having to deal with the trauma of something like that. Usually, if a movie carries on, like with the final girl or the person from the film before, like, yeah, they have a little bit of stuff going on. Like Neve Campbell in the Scream franchise as Sydney, like, yeah, she's got some stuff going on. Clearly, she's messed up a little bit, but she can still like carry on. Like in this movie, they can barely hold it together. Like, they're barely hanging on after what happened to them, like mentally. And that makes a ton of sense that they would be like that. Like, that makes total sense. Like, how could they hold it together? How could they have a normal life after what happened to them in the second movie? So that makes a ton of sense, and that makes the movie feel a little bit more realistic. What I like about the film, though, and what, Damien Leone does a really good job of, I think. Damien Leone. Did I say Leone? Is that how you pronounce it? I don't know. I'm thinking of Sergio Leone. But what he does such a good job of is how he does balance those like moments of comedy with those like really like, extreme deep dives into PTSD and stuff and the really like serious subject matter. He balances it very well to where like neither one like take away from the other. Like, I never feel like the movie's like tonally inconsistent. I feel like everything still like is in line with itself, like tonally, like even though you're kind of going back and forth between these comedic moments with Art and how he's killing people, and then you got Sienna and her stuff and grief and how she's dealing with PTSD. You got that stuff, that more serious stuff, but the movie balances all that very well. So I actually think that's pretty impressive overall. I do like this movie. I think it's a really good movie. If I was rating it on Letterboxd, I would probably give it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. I'm all for this franchise, guys. Like, I'm all in at this point. Some really cool stuff towards the end that kind of dive deeper into the mythology of this universe, which I enjoy. In much the same way as like Freddy Krueger. Like, the reason I grew up loving A Nightmare on Elm Street is how it like is the lore and the world building and the stuff that they establish with Freddy Krueger and the Dream Warriors and the Dream World and all that kind of stuff. I loved that stuff when I was a kid, and this is very reminiscent of that. Like, Sienna is very much, in my opinion, kind of the spiritual successor to like Alice from Dream Master, which she was always my favorite character in that franchise. So I'm digging it, guys. I'm all in. I can't wait for Terrifier 4. I think this franchise is super cool. Even though this one, like, I may like it more when I rewatch it, but to me, like, this one, just a little bit, I don't even want to say like too much into the comedy, because I enjoyed the comedy. Like, that was fun, but it did take away from the tension. It took away from the scares. And that's kind of what I want out of these movies, because when I was watching the other two over the weekend, like, I was really getting into them, and I was like really tense in some moments, and they were like actually like creeping me out a little bit. Like, I don't feel like Art the Clown was really that terrifying in this movie overall, and I think he was kind of terrifying in the first two. So there you have it, guys. That's my thoughts. I give it a 3.5 out of 5. Like, maybe if I rewatch it, I might enjoy it more, give it a 4. I don't know. It's a good movie. I recommend you go out to the theaters to see it. I enjoyed my theater watch of the film. And I do want to address this really quick, guys, because I know there's going to be people in the comment section that saw the video that my wife and I did on our channel, Married with Media, about how we're done with the theaters. That was more of just like a broad, you know, just kind of topic video about why we're frustrated with the theatrical experience. I wasn't like straight up saying I'm never going to the theater again. I think, in fact, in that video, I said, we'll probably go back to the theater as soon as there's a movie that entices us to go back to the theater. I said The Wolfman is the next movie I wanted to see in the theaters, which there was a trailer for that in this movie. I thought it looked awesome. I cannot wait to see that movie. But Terrifier, like, it got me. I got up in the hype train, and I was enticed to come see Terrifier. Like, if I get like enticed, excited to see a movie in the theaters, that's an experience that I've always loved. Like, I love seeing movies in the theaters my entire life. But I've just become so disenchanted with the movie theatrical experience, and like, movies just don't feel exciting in the same way anymore. So if a movie like captures my attention and I want to go see it in the theaters, I will absolutely 100% go see it in the theaters. So there you have it, guys. I know there's going to be people that's commenting, oh, you broke, you gave in, Ken, blah, blah, blah. I already see the comments because I posted on my community tab. All right, get that crap out of here, okay? I'm frustrated with theatrical experience overall, you know, in movies today overall. But this one felt like it was must see, and I wanted to go see it in the theaters. So there you have it. But anyway, guys, that's my thoughts on Terrifier. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave me a comment down below. If you want more of this type of stuff, maybe I'll do it. I don't know. Maybe this is a one-off, and I'll never go to the theaters and review a movie by myself again. But my wife and I, we review tons of films on our channel. Come check us out. I got that link down below in the description. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Turn on bell notifications for all future videos, and follow me on all my social media accounts. Those links are down below in the description, and we'll see you next time.